Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and welcome to the show. Today is November 12th, 2019, and it's a Tuesday. Now, I want to talk about something. Let's get the chart started right here and take a look. It says Boeing 737 MAX jets could fly again by January. Now, I just want to tell you guys, I'm no way affiliated with Boeing. No way I get a payback or anything, but I'm going to talk about their jets for a minute and these flights. First off, the thing I want to say is, if I have to take a flight later this year or into next year, the first jet I'm going to climb on or try to get a ticket on is a Boeing 737, and I'm going to explain to you why. The reason why is what caused those jets to fall out of the air was a bad software problem. And you know what? They fixed that. It's fixed already. Ain't gonna happen again. They're gonna make sure that doesn't happen again with the software problem. Second thing about it is, and the second reason why I would fly a Boeing 737 is a big, powerful jet, really well-made jet, and you can bet after this issue that Boeing had, before they put those jets in the air, they're gonna go over them with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that the jet is in perfect working order. Are they gonna do that with these other flights? These other jets have been in the air for ages, and they probably don't get that good checking over that Boeing's going to give them before they put those jets back in the air. You can bet they're really going to check them over good. The next thing why I would fly the Boeing 737s, not only have they fixed the software issue that caused the problem, not only have they checked the entire jet over to make sure it's all in perfect working order, but when I get on that jet, half of the seats are going to be empty. I'm going to tell you, it's an awful lot easier to fly on a half-empty jet than it is to fly on a jet that's cram-packed with people. Plus, there's a possibility you might even get a reduced ticket price on top of that, as a cherry on top of the sundae, so to speak. So, you know what? I'm not scared to get on that jet. I've reasoned it out and used common sense, and I know it's probably the best, most value for my money to fly the 737. So I can't wait for them to get them back in the air. It's great. I don't see a problem with it. They fix the issues and everything. I'm great with it. And using reason and common sense, I realize that not just 737s can go down, but these other jets that aren't a 737 can go down too. And these jets have probably been checked over a lot better because of this issue. So anyway, that's my viewpoint on it. Take it for what it's worth. Let's move on and take a look now at the gold price today. 1452, and it took a drop earlier. Cryptocurrencies having this same problem. Let's look at cryptocurrency today. It's been meandering along around $238.5 billion. The price for Bitcoin today is $8,728. Ethereum is at $184. XRP is 27 cents. Bitcoin Cash is 286, and Litecoin is $60.77. Coins have been going along sideways for a long time now. They're getting ready for a movement to the up or to the downside. My tendency is to think up in the short term, not significantly up. And then what's really worrying me is the fact that the stock market could roll over. And if that happens, what's going to be the effect on Bitcoin? We could see Bitcoin roll over, too. This worries me. But I do know that if the stock market does roll over, that the central banks are going to come into the rescue, and not in a small way, in a big way. And then we'll see Bitcoin really shoot up in price. And I mean, that's when we're probably going to really get our big rally, And all of this is not going to happen 2 years from now. This is all going to happen in the next number of months. We're going to see this happen. So if you guys are HODLers, that's the way to go. To just See, you only take your loss. If you've bought Bitcoin, say you even bought it at a higher price, say you bought it at 13,800 a few months ago. If you sell right now, you take your loss. But if you ride this little storm out until Bitcoin makes its final bottoms or whatever and then shoots up in price, once it passes the 13,800 you paid, then you haven't taken any loss at all. It doesn't matter how low it goes right now. And I can tell you right now, the further down Bitcoin goes in the short term, the higher it's going to go in the long term. You know, it has unimaginable upside potential. Anyway, let's move on here and let's talk about this article here. Chinese digital currency is a real threat. Honest to gosh, they've hit the nail on the head. I'm going to tell you what, guys, what? Libra's not really going too much of anywhere, but the Chinese, they have the power. They have the power of the treasury. And they're pushing this Chinese digital currency. They're going to push all these other countries to get in there too. Because China's going to get the first mover advantage if they don't. And they must realize this. I mean, if I realize this, they must realize this. I'm going to tell you how powerful first mover advantage is. There's coins out there, you know, that are better than Bitcoin in many ways, but they don't have first mover advantage. Now, can you imagine if the Chinese government gets first mover advantage on the digital currencies of the world, on this digital currency? And the Chinese, I'm going to tell you, they're always on top of everything. They're always first. They're in there first. They are very ingenious. They're amazing people. Look how they've grown their country into a number one exporter of goods worldwide. They, you know, I mean, look how they've taken over the 5G network and the technology that runs 5G. I mean, and now they're moving into the biggest, most powerful market of all, the new transferal from old fiat currencies, the old fiat currencies, into the new fiat currencies, which are going digital. These other countries are going to have to get onto themselves, and they're going to move fast. It says Western governments need to start thinking about their response to currencies that they cannot control. Facebook executive Mark Zuckerberg was at least half right when he recently told Congress that there was no U.S. monopoly on regulation of next-generation payments technologies. You may not like Facebook's proposed Libra, cryptocurrency, Zucker replied, but a state-run Chinese digital currency with global ambitions is perhaps just a few months away, and you'll probably like that even less. China is going to get the upper hand unless they make a move quick into digital currency. This means digitalizing the dollar. I mean, full on digital, you know. And this would mean the end of cash. And of course, that's what the banks, that's where they want to go anyway, is to the end of cash. The tendency of cryptocurrencies in developing nations. You know, this is something that's going to move forward, and it's going to continue, and it's going to gather up steam, and it's going to gather up power. Cryptocurrency is going to make inroads in countries that don't have the opportunity for banking. And it's already making inroads. It's going to grow. It's growing exponentially in these places that you've probably never heard of before. Countries that have strange names and stuff like that, you know? And they'll put in a little bill. All they need is a little tiny building, a little alleyway building as a physical site, and to become an exchange for these people to do their banking back and forth, just like an office of Western Union, but a crypto version. And people will come for miles. They'll walk for miles to be able to exchange currencies and be able to keep their Bitcoin on their wallet. And they'll look for that site or that place where they're able to change their Bitcoin into the currency of the region or whatever, you know, and they'll find it. And these places will grow, and there'll be more of them. And these companies, like these remittance companies and stuff, are going to slowly be choked by the decentralized cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. It's only a matter of time. It's like almost like the handwritings on the wall sort of thing. It's where these cryptocurrencies are going to spread in the underdeveloped world as well, and it's going to root itself and find a huge base. So that if the developed, in the end, it's going to move to a point where even if the developed world were to throw down Bitcoin and say we don't want it anymore, it would be being used in the undeveloped world so much that it wouldn't really matter that much to the Bitcoin price. It'd be like, so you guys don't want us in the developed world. Well, not like that's really going to happen, I mean, the developed world's not going to throw off Bitcoin. But let's say they did. And they said, okay, we don't want it anymore. We're just going to dump our Bitcoins. It'll get to the point where the undeveloped world, the people who don't have a lot of money, will be using it so much that it'll already have a user base in those areas where it's rock solid. But that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to see exponential growth of Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies until in the end they're going to take over. It's not really a matter of a long ways into the future, 20 years into the future or anything like that. We're looking at it in the next 5 years, this happening. Amazing times we live in. Thank you guys for listening to this show. Give me a thumbs up. And we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye.